My name is Colin Rhinesmith. I'm a digital media producer for the Berkman Center for Internet and Society at Harvard Law School. It's a research center there looking at a number of issues related to the internet and society. I'd like to just quickly thank Peter Kaufman for inviting us to be here. It's been a very full and exciting conference, and we'd like to thank you all for sticking around. I should also say before starting that this is definitely a pre-Mara Hancock presentation. You'll probably find out why once we show you what we have today, but we definitely look forward to speaking with her after our presentation if possible. So I'd like to first begin briefly with a short story that explains how we got here, and then Dean will show you a brief presentation of what we have. As a digital media producer for the Berkman Center, I've been publishing audio and video podcasts at the Berkman Center for the past year and a half on a blog called Media Berkman. And during this time, I've been publishing with a system that's really been cobbled together from a variety of different platforms. It's not ideal, and the process has been both cumbersome and time-consuming. I met Dean, who works for the Participatory Culture Foundation, which you'll hear more about later, when he worked on a video project for the Berkman Center. At this time, we realized that we needed a better solution for the work that we were both doing. So about 6 months ago, we sat down to talk about the possibilities for rebuilding the existing Berkman Center Media Library. We knew we wanted a system that would allow students, faculty, and staff to easily upload and share media, including audio, video, and text, like many of the other projects we've seen during this conference. This new media library had to be easy to install, manage, publish with, and browse. We also needed something that wouldn't leave the Berkman Center with a standalone silo of content, which we've also heard about from many others during the past 2 days. So we did a comprehensive survey of existing solutions and found nothing that specifically met the Berkman Center's needs. And we still haven't found anything particular yet, but of course we've learned a lot from this conference and many of the presentations here. We realized that we were in a unique position to build a piece of software that could fill both the needs of the Berkman Center as well as many similar institutions. And we also discovered that there were very few established best practices in the space for metadata and centralized searching, among many other things. So it was at that point when we knew the scope of this project was much larger than where it had began. So at this point, I'm going to segue to Dean, who's going to walk you through a conceptual mock-up of the Open Media Library.
Hey, I'm Dean Jansen. I work for, I don't know which of these is picking me up. I work for the Participatory Culture Foundation. Some of you guys might be familiar with the Democracy Player, which is kind of a cool free and open source tool for getting video. Sort of the short version of it is that it's kind of like iTunes plus TiVo for video. It's free and open source, released under the GPL cross-platform. Might be of interest to some of you, so check that out. The project that the Berkman Center at Harvard and the PCF are working on together is the Open Media Library. And this is sort of a mock-up that we put together of the front end of the project. And so I'll just do a walkthrough of some of the features. I'll go fairly quickly because I imagine that people are a little more interested in some of the technical stuff that might be going on behind the front side. So just some of the bells and whistles, the ability to easily publish media, retaining the original format and also like transcoding to something like Flash, having automatic playback in sort of like the lightbox style that pops up right over the screen, doing some Ajax tricks with that, so that any video or audio on the site can be instantly previewed and played back. The ability to get like drop-down drawers with more information on anything that you're looking at. So you can get description, star ratings, or user ratings, comments, that sort of thing. This is not the final design. This is just sort of the very first iteration. So we're thinking of putting in social features such as tagging and kind of the Web 2.0 gamut. And let's see, so if you close that, you're right back to where you started. And this next part is sort of where it gets a little more into the library aspect of this project. So anytime you run a search or look at an author or, I'm pointing at my screen here, I should be pointing up here. Anytime you're doing a search or looking at an individual author or a project, then you're going to get a page that looks something like this, that has all of the media listed by type, and this is just how we would choose to display it, but this system would be obviously open source and something that someone else could customize, with like Ajax drop down so that you could reveal all of the videos in the project, et cetera, et cetera. Really easy access to the subscription functions, RSS, like maybe when click iTunes or Democracy, and the ability to choose various formats. And this next portion is another thing that is sort of really key to what we're talking about here. We didn't want to create something that would just be that standalone silo so that you visit Berkman's, the Berkman Center's website and you search their video and maybe you find something, maybe not. We wanted to make something that if peer institutions were using the same system or they had maybe rolled their own video publishing systems, that the backends could sort of talk to each other in order to do like a centralized cross-site search. So that if I look for information on internet firewalls at the Berkman Center, then I see a little link that says, we've got these videos, but you might check out these extended results too. And we've been looking for sort of a, I don't know, best practice or a solution for this, and haven't really found anything that seems suitable. So we feel like this could be sort of a project that blazes a new trail in this area. And so that's the end of the front side of the presentation. We just end with why we think it's necessary, and we've definitely had a whole lot of interest in this, talking with people from public broadcasting, educators, a lot of different educators, individuals, a lot of interest. So we feel like the dominoes are all lined up, and we're just looking for that that little push to get started on this thing. And so I welcome any questions or.
Who's funding that project?
That's a good question. There is, right now, the Berkman Center and PCF are ready to start working on it, and we're looking for funders. We put out some grant applications, but haven't had any word back yet. I think they're still a ways off from being finalized, but we sort of need help finding funding. So.
I think I should probably also jump in and say that we have done a lot of research and work with other institutions at this point. We had an exciting meeting at the Berkman Center in April that brought together folks from MIT, USC, Yale, Emerson College, where I'm a graduate student, folks from public broadcasting and public access television to come together and start, chipping away at some best practices for a project like this. But obviously, again, to reiterate, now we have learned that there are other folks working in the space from being here, so it's very exciting for us. But what that day really helped us to do is really identify some of the key, both technical and legal challenges, which is really so great about this conference, because it's exactly what we focused on for our day-long meeting. And we are looking forward to bringing back all of what we've learned from this conference to our group there, with absolutely the intention of plugging into existing groups that are obviously working in this effort so that we can join with other people in this area. So we're very excited about that.
Conference possible. And,